Hey there, I'm Paul Garvey and welcome to Actors Boulevard, where we talk about a variety of topics within the acting world. This week we want to talk about scene study. For anyone who has never taken a scene study class, I want to go through what you can expect and what I experienced taking my first scene study class just last week. So I'm really excited to tell you about this. So first of all, what is scene study? So as defined by Spotlight.com, scene study is the art of analyzing a scene and working out what you need to do to really bring the script to life. It's one of the most fundamental skills any working actor needs, and like so many things in the business, it's something you can learn if you're willing to put in the time and effort. So I didn't really know what to expect with this class, but it was a real eye-opener, and there was a lot of stuff to take in. So the day started off. By the way, I took these classes in Houston, and just last week. So the day started off, and went in, met the instructor, gave my details and so on and so forth, and then essentially we got straight into it. So I was given a script. Now this script was only 2 pages long, and generally speaking, the scripts that you are given are only short. They're only a couple of pages long, and they're taken from like an overall entire script of a movie or a show or something like that. So you're only getting like a section of it, one scene, right? That's all that you're going to play out in any one class, is one scene. So I was given the script, had to learn the lines. So straight away it was like you're thrown in the deep end straight away. So there was 2 characters in the scene, and I was paired up with this other girl, and between the 2 of us we had to learn the lines. So altogether there was about 7 or 8 pairs of people. So we had to go away, each pair had their own little space, and we had to learn our lines. So which is extremely basic, learning the lines. Okay, so the instructor told us that he wanted to, first of all, A, do a drama piece, and B, do a comedy piece using the same script. So it used the same words, exact same words, did not change, not one word, and we had to create a drama piece and then a comedy piece. So, I mean, it all depends, like, the context of the words. So, like, just say if I said to you, hey, I got your shopping for you today. You know, very nice, pleasant. But then I could also say it like this. Hey, I got your shopping for you today. So you can see that one is like pleasant and happy, and the other one is like angry or annoyed or something bothering. So it all depends how you say the words. So what we had to do was we had to come up with 2 background stories, one for the drama piece and one for the comedy piece. So this took like it took a lot of thinking, because you have to like essentially create these stories like out of the blue on the spot. And we had about 30 minutes to rehearse the drama piece and comedy piece combined, and work off each other with our stories and come up with a finalized drama story and a finalized story for our comedy piece. And for our drama piece, we said that this girl was getting attacked, and the girl was my character, and I came in and broke up the thing, and the things got out of hand, and the attacker ended up dying, and we had to clean up the scene, and I had to call this guy I knew, and he wanted money to help us, and it was really dramatic. So that was our drama piece, and the background story that we created for our comedy piece was from the same lines, now the same script, was that there was 2 of us, and we were working for this nightclub owner. And the nightclub owner was very shady, and also my character and the girl I was working with, her character, were very shady as well, and we both owed money for some drug deal that went bad. So we had to come up with a story that I slipped in the kitchen and hurt my neck, and the scene started with me coming in, and I'm on like have this neck brace around my neck, and I'm calling my boss. I'm on FaceTime, and trying to get money out of him. So I was very like it was very funny, because I kind of went like I'm in pain, and then it went to like I'm in no pain. I was talking to my other character, and then she was getting money out of him a different way. But it was really funny. But what I took from it is that it all depends on like the actions that you put into the scene yourself personally. The emotions, the movements, how you say the words. They can mean anything. One word can mean a multitude of different things, and it all depends how you say these words, which I thought was like really, 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 really cool. So it can be, you can say the words and be happy, you can say the words and be sad, you can say the words and be angry, and you're all like feeding off your kind of characters' emotions and impulses and stuff like that. And a lot of the stuff like we had rehearsed, it actually, first of all, we hadn't rehearsed fully at all. We didn't have an awful lot of time, but B, a lot of the stuff was kind of improv that we kind of just worked off each other while the scene was happening, and it actually ended up pretty good. It was really funny. The comedy piece and dramatic piece was really, really dramatic, which essentially is exactly what we wanted. And our instructor then is extremely good. He gave us some pointers then at the end. So ways to come in and movements. I found myself, because it was my first kind of time doing any of this stuff, my kind of nerves were at me, and I found myself bouncing around the scene area, let's say. And he pointed that out to me, and it was something that I could feel myself doing, but I wasn't really aware of it. And we had to do the scene again. This was for the dramatic scene, and he said, "You stand in this one spot, do not move." And I was like, "Fine, okay, I got it." And then we did the scene again, and it's like I was fine for the first 10 or 15 seconds, and then I felt myself bouncing around the place again, like unknown to myself. So I had to correct myself doing that. So little bits of things like that. But for anyone that hasn't done a scene study class, I highly advise you to take it. Very nerve-wracking, I found, doing it for my first time. But once the scene actually starts and you get into it, I personally loved it. I can't wait to go back again. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't done it before, I highly recommend doing it. You'd learn an awful lot about yourself. How to face the camera. There was like a few instances as well, I kind of had my back semi-turned to the audience. It was like an audience of students, and I had my back semi-turned to the audience, and it's like kind of like you need to be facing the people who are essentially looking at you, right? There's no point having your back turned to them, as they won't be able to see you. You never really see that in any movie or play or whatever, because they're all obviously trained and experienced and so on and so forth. But it's good to learn these things. So yeah, the classes they're on weekly basis, and I can't wait to get back to the next one. But like to know your character's traits. So just say, going back to the dramatic piece again, not only do you have to come up with a background story, but which brings out the emphasis in your actions and stuff like that, but you also have to know like your character's traits, like what way is your character feeling. Is your character annoyed? Is he pissed off? Is he fucked up? Is he happy, sad? And that's not to say that the character you're working with, they could be a happy person, you could be sad, and that's like could be like kind of comedy in a way, if you wanted to put it like that, or you could work it some way. So it's important to nail down what your character's feeling, like what is your character good at, what's he bad at, what annoys him. And these are all things that the scene study class is great, because it sparks your creativity and it makes you think about all these things. And for anyone that hasn't taken, my advice is to, before you go in to class. I'm not sure about every class, but it's wise to have like a page and you just write down, like, for instance, props. What props are used? So you can have like a fake gun or fake handcuffs or clown hair or something like that, just to add to the scene. So it's nice to have a couple of different sections. One's for, you know, your character traits, what's your character good at, what way is your character feeling, what is the background story, you know, where do I enter the scene, is there a pause, you know, things like that, what props are used. And it's good to, like, while you're creating your story and all of this, to actually jot it down, and it's to have a little template, to have these things wrote down would be really beneficial. When I got back, I was doing it because we have to prepare for another piece for our next class, and I just opened a Word document and you know, created these sections on a 2-page, printed back to back, and printed off a couple of them. So my next class, I'll have this that will kind of give me a little bit of structure, and to make the planning and the background story a little bit easier, so you're kind of not all over the place and jotting down words on a copy that are all over the place, and it's kind of structured. That would be one bit of advice that I would give, you know, as a little prep for your scene study class. For those who haven't taken it before, I can only assume that every actor has their own way on how to, like, monitor it and not kind of get lost in it and kind of like stay in line. But that, I feel that did help me, you know, preparing for my next class. Yeah, so again, if you haven't taken it, I highly advise you to take it. I'm not sure if they do virtual classes. I believe they actually do. It was an in-person class that I went to. If you have the option of doing in-person to virtual, I haven't taken a virtual class, but to be there and get like the one-on-one, and to be there and be up on stage, you know, it's all training, right? It's all acting, so you're getting a lot more benefits rather than just watching it, you know, virtually. And please don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong if there is virtual classes. Everyone to their own. They mightn't have a car, they might have work a job, the hours won't suit. Whatever way you want to take it is good. All that I'm saying is, if you have the option to do in person, it may be a better option, you know, to get the most out of it. So yeah, I think that about covers all of that for that class. I will let you know how the next one goes, and for anyone that wants to catch up with me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Actors Blvd, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you on there. You can DM me any questions about the class or anything, and I'll do my best to answer. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.